Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Juice Baseball channel, and welcome to a little bit of spring training highlights. Now, you may consider these some spring training highlights, or you may consider them spring training lowlights, depending on how you feel about these, but I went through about maybe 3, 4, maybe 5 games. We did some player lock on some specific players. We did a few innings and of different games, and we got some good information. Now I say we, this wasn't done on stream or anything. You didn't miss anything. This was just me sitting in my chair playing spring training games, not talking. And now I'm doing the voiceover. So that's what this is all about. But this game that you're watching right now from these highlights is the first game of spring training where Elly De La Cruz made his debut, and he made a pretty decent play at the ball there on Steven Kwan, but Kwan outran him and was able to get on to first base. But a pretty good play from Elly De La Cruz. I'm very excited about the young roster that we are building. I'm very excited about the young prospects that we have, including Elly De La Cruz, including Matt McLain, and obviously our starters like Hunter Green and Nick Lodolo. And I'm not very excited about Graham Ashcraft, I'll tell you that much. Graham Ashcraft is not that good, and he's probably going to be getting traded. I hate to break it to you if you're, for some reason, a Graham Ashcraft fan, but I hate to break it to you. He's probably going to get out of here no later than the trade deadline. I just don't think he fits what I'm trying to do. I didn't pitch with him at all in spring training because I knew what he was. We pitched with him twice, maybe even 3 times during the season last year in videos, and he just did not produce. One guy that did produce, and one guy that I'm very excited about having on this team, is Josh Bell. As you can see, he just got a double right there with his first at-bat of the spring. And I'm very excited about the new guys that we have on this team. Joey Gallo, who you will see in this video, this early part of the video, and you'll see Josh Bell as you just saw, and you'll see Noelvi Marte some more. You'll see Elly De La Cruz. You'll see these guys that we signed in free agency and that we traded for last season and that we brought up into the big league club from the minors. I'm very excited that we have a lot of mixture of veteran talent with like Joey Votto and Gallo and Josh Bell and guys like that, the veteran kind of leaders of the team. But then we've got that young talent like Tyler Stevenson. Some people forget he's still really, really young. He's like 26 years old now. We have young rookies like Elly De La Cruz. Noelvi Marte is still really, really young. We have Jonathan India still. So, I mean, we have that nice mixture. And plus we have that nice mixture. Well, we don't really have the veteran leadership in the bullpen, or not in the bullpen, in the starting rotation. We kind of have more really, really young guys like Hunter Green, Nick Lodolo, Brandon Williamson, Connor Overton, and guys of that nature are kind of on the young side. I mean, Overton's, I think, 29 or something, so he's not super young anymore. But we did bring back Tyler Naquin. As you can see right here, he is going to pop up to the catcher. But I talked about that in the off-season video last episode, how I was very, very sad that we traded away Tyler Naquin because he was having such a good season for us. Now, it wasn't like a good season in terms of just like overall MLB, but it was a good season for us. He was producing. He even had that special moment a couple episodes ago with the walk-off. So, I mean, he was a special kind of player for us in season 1. So I was sad when we had to trade him away because we were doing the real-life trades that happened, that the Reds did in obviously in real life. So he was part of that trade. Although we didn't trade him to the Mets, we traded him to some American League. I can't remember who the American League team was that we traded him to, but we did trade him away. Maybe it was the Blue Jays. I think the Blue Jays were the team that we traded him to, and we got some good players back for him. And then the Blue Jays just didn't re-sign him. So I said, you know what? I like him and I want to bring him back. So we did. And he's back on a 1-year deal, 2-year deal. I can't remember exactly what I gave him, but he is back and I'm excited about it. I'm happy to have him back. He's going to start in right field for us this season. Joey Votto knocked in a run. And speaking of Joey Votto, I'm going to talk about this in the video or the live commentary after I get done with this voiceover for spring training highlights, because we're gonna go over the roster, and I'm gonna talk about how I feel about certain players, what my goals are for this season, who I think might make the team, who I think might get put down in AAA, all that kind of good stuff. I'm going to talk about that in live commentary when we get to after these highlights. But we enter the second game that I played, and I think this one's against the Rockies. It is. It's against the Rockies. And you may be wondering, as Tyler Stevens is just jamming in the bullpen, or not in the bullpen, in the dugout there, with Josh Bell and Ellie De La Cruz and Matt McClain, and all those guys are down there. But we're jamming here. We're having a good time. And you may be wondering why I'm doing this as its own video. Spring training was supposed to be included into the first episode of the second season, but I was like, you know what? And I talk about this in the voiceover, or in the live commentary, because I've already done the live commentary. So I talk about this in the live commentary, how I felt like giving more attention to the younger guys like De La Cruz, like Matt McClain, like even Jonathan India, or Noel V. Marte, or guys like that we're trying to build this team around. As you can see, Chris Bassett striking out a guy, another new addition that we signed in free agency. Very happy to have him on the team. He pitched very well. I was very impressed with him in the innings that we got with him in spring. I was very impressed with him. I hope he has a good year. But like I was saying, I decided to make this its separate video because of the fact that I wanted to just give more attention to some of these younger guys. I wanted to talk a little bit more about them instead of just having a quick little, like, a couple highlights here from one guy, a couple highlights there from another guy, just like sprinkled in at the beginning of a video about the opening day of second season, because then it kind of gets lost. Like, you forget that we even did the spring training stuff in the beginning of the video, because it's all about the gameplay of opening day. And I think we played the Giants on opening day in the next episode, I'm pretty sure. But I wanted to give spring training its own video, because then that just makes it a little bit more special. It makes the feel like, it makes you feel like you're getting to know some of these younger prospects that are trying to make their name in the major leagues, and I feel like I want to give you that connection to these guys, so that you feel like, yeah, I know what's going on in this organization. I know who's playing good. I know who's not really developing and who's not really stepping up to the plate, like, no pun intended, that is not producing in the big league club, or maybe not producing in the minor leagues. Like, I wanted to give you that access so you could feel that connected to the team, and I feel like doing that with spring training is a better way to give you that, instead of just dropping in a few highlights here and there for the beginning of the next video. And then the next video we can focus fully on recapping the spring, talking about who I moved down. I think I talked about that in the live commentary, how I did who I thought was most likely going to go down, and I pretty much stuck to that. I may have moved a couple of guys that I might not have mentioned, that I ended up deciding in the moment that I was going to move down. But overall, I pretty much stuck to what I said in the live commentary, how I was going to move it, who was going to get dropped down to AAA, who was going to stay up in the bigs for the season. Ellie De La Cruz, spoiler, he's going to stay up. He'll be on opening day. I don't know if he's going to be the starting third baseman. Probably. I think I have him in the lineup now instead of Kyle Farmer. Kyle Farmer was the starting third baseman after Mike Moustakas left. And I think that Ellie De La Cruz is going to be the starting third baseman for us for the beginning of season number 2. So I'm excited about that. And I think the rest of the lineup is basically the same. There might be one other change, maybe 2 other changes. I don't remember exactly, but there could be a couple other changes. As we are playing the Giants now, who have Aaron Nola. I didn't expect that when I was playing, when I loaded up this game, that they had Aaron Nola, as De La Cruz flies out to deep right field. I think this is the game where I player locked Ellie De La Cruz so we could get some more in-depth knowledge of him, and it is, because we are in the field with De La Cruz at third base. Hunter Green is on the mound, and I really like this play because Cruz reacts really quickly, fields it cleanly, and gets an accurate throw while he was falling forward to the first baseman, who I think is Josh Bell at that point. I don't think that was Joey Votto. And then he has a really, really good strike. So Elly De La Cruz has some real talent. He is probably our best prospect that we have in the organization. Now that he's in the big league club, I hope he develops, and I hope that he produces the same way he was producing in AAA and AA, because this kid is a good player. He is a dog. And now we go to Josh Bell, who struggled in the preseason, at least in the games that I played myself. But for the most part, Josh Bell in the preseason did not disappoint. He had a few home runs. Nobody really played amazing in the preseason, which is understandable because we're still not that great of a team. Once we can get our pitching figured out, I think we have 2 solid starting pitchers. I don't know if they're going to be the 1-2 combination if we ever win a Super Bowl. If we ever win a World Series, Hunter Green and Nick Lodolo are the 2 guys I'm talking about. But I definitely think that those 2 guys, no matter where we are in the rotation, I think they're going to be there. Whether they're 1-2, whether they're 1-3, 1-4, 1-5, 2-5, like whatever combination they are, I feel like those 2 guys are pretty much locks to be in the rotation when we are successful. Now, there's no other really guaranteed. I mean, Chris Bassett's good, and who knows how he's going to play this season, but in terms of longevity, he's probably not going to be here because he's like 30-something years old, 32, 33, I don't know how old he is, but he's in his 30s, and he's probably not going to be long for the job as a starter when we're good. He's going to get us, maybe he can be a trade piece, although I'd like to, depending on how he's playing, I'd like to keep him around. And now we enter the final game against the Dodgers here in spring. This will be the final highlights, but I'd like to keep Chris Bassett around for the whole season. If he's playing really, really well, then maybe we trade him at the deadline for something really good. Who knows? But we do get to see Nick Lodolo here, as I mentioned just a couple of seconds ago. He is one of the 2 guys that's basically locked into the starting rotation. He had a really good spring. I was very impressed with him. I was very impressed with Hunter Green. I was very impressed with what's his name? The pitcher, Justin Dunn. That's who it is. I was very impressed with Justin Dunn. He never started in the spring. I put him in the bullpen, and we called him out of the bullpen, and he played really well. He pitched really, really good out of the bullpen. He was consistent. I am going to move him down to AAA for the start of the season, but there is all the possibility in the world that he could be up into the majors by June, July, depending on how he's playing, or certainly by September at the September call-ups. He's probably like top 2 candidates to get called up in September if he's not already up on the big league squad by then already. So I was very impressed at how he was pitching, and he might not pitch as a starter, but he can certainly be in the bullpen. I think he probably would be a starter if I called him up. So that's what I'm kind of feeling about all these different guys. Aristides Aquino, I did put him down into the Benham. And here's Encarnacion into the AAA is what I want to say. Encarnacion is if you remember, he's our Rule 5 pick, so he has to stay on the big league club. So he's going to back up Tyler Naquin. I moved down Austin Hendricks to AAA so that we only have 2 right fielders, and it's Naquin and Encarnacion. So that's going to be the end of this. I hope you guys enjoy the live commentary. Spring training highlights are done. I'll see you in the actual video. Now that the spring training is all wrapped up and we got to look at some of our young prospects, we got to look at some of our veteran players, I think we can take a look at some of these guys' full preseason stats and kind of make some decisions on who we think is going to make the big league club and who we think is going to need some more time to develop. Now, obviously, the guys that we signed in free agency in the last episode are going to make the roster. Josh Bell, Chris Bassett, and I was very impressed with him in the game that we pitched with him. He played pretty darn well in spring training, as you can see by his numbers up there. He played pretty well. I felt some good control with him. I think that he pitched pretty well. So Chris Bassett, obviously, he's going to stay up. We have Joey Gallo, who did not really impress me too much in the spring, but he is Joey Gallo, and he's very hot and cold. He's very, very two-dimensional, I guess you could say, with strikeouts and home runs. Those are his 2 dimensions. Somebody that did impress me, though, is Noelvi Marte. And not just in terms of, yeah, he hit 3 home runs and 10 RBIs, but his .260 average, his consistent defensive play, I think Noel V. Marte is going to be a very good player for us. Tucker Barnhart surprised me too in spring, hitting 300, but he's just more of a backup and kind of like a quote-unquote legacy contract because he's a former Red. He was gone last season. I think he went to Detroit, and then and now he's back here in Cincinnati. So it's good to have him back. Elly De La Cruz will make the big league club. We talked about this all last season, how he was, and the game, MLB The Show, was trying to get me to make him a full-time big league player, but I kept putting him down. I felt like he needed a full year in AAA to develop, and he did. He developed into a really, really good player. He is going to be probably our starting third baseman, if not most likely later on down the line in the second season here. Probably maybe in July he might get the start, depending on what we decide to do at that position. Third base is kind of up in the air. And another guy that impressed me was Jay Allen. I did like how he played. He's got some good speed out in center field. I like how he is how he is defensively. He's not really much of a power guy, which we don't really need in that position, but he does provide some defense and some speed, so that's good. Matt McClain also got a little bit of speed. He's pretty good defensively, got a good glove. As for the pitching, Hunter Green obviously will be our ace. Then we have Chris Bassett. Lodolo pitched pretty well in the spring. Could have been better, but he did pitch okay. Graham Ashcraft, I am not sold on. I think either we move on from him at the deadline or we just move him down to AAA. I don't know. I'm just not sold on him at all. He didn't impress me at all in last season, and he did not impress me this spring. So we're going to have to find something to do with him. Connor Overton is a weird one because he's like kind of good, but he's very inconsistent. He's 29 years old already, deep potential, so he doesn't have much of a future, at least on this team. So I don't know what we do with him. Maybe both of these guys get moved at the deadline, maybe in a package deal, or I don't know, maybe separate deals. Who knows? But I have a feeling that both of these guys aren't long for the Reds team. Justin Dunn did impress me out of the bullpen. We brought him in out of the bullpen. He didn't start any games in spring, but he did impress me in the bullpen. I think he's going to need another year in AAA, at least half a year in AAA. Maybe in September he gets the call up, but at least for the start of season number 2, Justin Dunn probably needs to be in AAA. He did look pretty good, but he also showed signs of being super young. And he's 27, so he's not like crazy young like some of these other guys, but he does probably need a little bit more time to develop. Brandon Williamson is going to get the start in the Major League Club, and that is probably because of the fact that Overton and Ashcraft are going to be gone fairly soon. They might not even make it to the deadline. I don't know, especially Ashcraft. I don't know what I'm going to do with him. But I'm liking Brandon Williamson. He's got a good rotate, or he's got a good wind up. He's got a good release. I like what Brandon Williamson does. I think he could be potentially a good pitcher in this organization, but maybe not a top 3 guy. Maybe he's a 4-5 kind of rotation dude. Cleveland Robles, we didn't really see much. Levi Stout, brought him out of the bullpen. He looked okay, but he did get hit a lot that's why his ERA is so high. He was one of those guys that we brought in the Mariners trade with Luis Castillo. So I don't know what we want to do with Levi. Definitely going to have to be a AAA guy, maybe even a AA guy. No, probably AAA. He'll probably start at AAA along with Robles. These two guys will probably be the 1-2 in the AAA level. No, maybe 1-2-3 because Justin Dunn will be down in AAA too. So that'll be your top 3 pitchers in AAA. And then we've got Ryver San Martin down there. We've got Luis Castilla, our guy that we drafted. I'm actually going to put him in AA, not in the 40-man roster. I'm actually going to put him in the AA organization so that he can get some play time. So we are going to move him to the AA squad. He's probably going to be the 5th pitcher in AA. And he's our draft pick from last season. Not our top pick, but he might actually have been the last pick that we took. I don't remember when we took him, but I think he could be pretty good. He's got B potential, so he could turn out to be something. It's going to take him a while. He's only 53 overall, so it's going to take him a minute to get to anywhere close to the major league level. But as of right now, he's going to be in AA to start the season. As for the bullpen, I was impressed with Bummer. I was impressed with TJ Anton. Luis Sessa was good, pitched good. All the usual suspects in the bullpen pitched pretty well. We don't really have a lot of depth at the bullpen position. This is all that we have. We're probably going to go into free agency and bring in some arms, because we only have 3 bullpen guys in the big league club, and we only have 1 right now in AAA. So we're going to have to definitely sign some players. I'll probably do that off camera just so we can fill out the depth of the squad. As for, we do have a lot of closing pitchers, though, that can go in the bullpen and will be in the bullpen, because we have Aroldis Chapman that will be up in the big league club this season. We brought him in from free agency from the Yankees. We have Lucas Sims, who I like, and we have Tony Santillan, who I also pretty much, because I like pitching with him. So all 4 of those guys, plus Alexis Diaz is the 4th guy. All 4 of these guys will be at the major league club, but Alexis Diaz will be our closer. These 3 guys will just be in the bullpen. So really, we just need to bring in guys to fill out the AAA lineup, because we have enough bullpen arms with those closers. And now I switch to a different team. There we go. Catchers, Tyler Stevenson, obviously one of our only all-stars. Him and Alexis Diaz were the only all-stars that made it. Tyler Stevenson's a stud. He's our starting catcher. He's got Tucker Barnhart with him. Matthew Nelson will start the year along with Spencer Steele down in AAA. And then Ray Valencia, our first-round pick, will start the year in AA. He's got C potential. Hopefully he turns out to be something. I don't know. We'll see. I kind of got screwed a little bit with not getting a blue chip player, but it is what it is. We had to do what we had to do with the position we were drafted with. So Ray Valencia was the first pick, and he turned out, he's not horrible. Like, he could turn out to be something. He's already a 71 overall, so he could turn out to be something. But these 2 guys will start at AAA. I may even start Spencer Steer as the actual starting catcher in AAA, and then have Matthew Nelson be the backup. But we'll find out what happens throughout the season. Josh Bell, we talked about, is already going to be up there. Vladimir Herrera, one of our other draft picks, C potential at 73 overall, will start the year at AA. Joey Votto, I did re-sign him before this video started. I did re-sign him to a 3-year, $7 million contract over 3 years. So he's going to finish up his massive, 12-year contract or 10-year contract, whatever he signed, that it pays him $22.5 million. That's going to be the final year, and he is 66 overall. And the reason I signed him to a 3-year extension onto the contract he already had is because he's Joey Votto. Yeah, he's not very good anymore. He's 66 overall. He's 39 years old. He had a down season, but he's Joey Votto, and we're the Cincinnati Reds. We had to work. I couldn't let Joey Votto walk. He has to retire a Cincinnati Red. So I signed him, and he wouldn't sign for anything lower than $7 million per year. So I brought him back. I bit the bullet. We have enough money. We brought him back. So he's going to be on the big league club. I haven't fully decided if he's going to start at first base or if Josh Bell is going to start at first base, because I haven't really decided what I want to do with the DH spot. Sal Stewart will start the year in AA or in AAA, and then we have these 2 guys down here that will probably battle for AA spots along with Vladimir Herrera. So somebody's going to be in AAA. I may even put Vladimir Herrera in AAA. I haven't really decided that yet either. He might start at AAA, and then these 2 guys can go to AA. Second base, Jonathan India has the spot pretty much guaranteed. Then we have Tyler Callahan. We don't have a lot of depth at second base. We probably need one of these guys to go down to AA. Probably Tanner Schobel, or Scoble, however you want to say his name. He's probably going to have to go down to AA. Leonardo Jimenez will probably start at AAA for the season. And then Callahan can probably go off to the minors again, because we have Cam Collier, who can play some different positions. Ellie De La Cruz. I know somebody could play second base. Matt McClain. There we go. I knew somebody in the big league club could play second base. And Matt McClain's probably going to start the year in the big leagues. He's probably going to start there. So we could probably move one of these guys down along with Tyler Callahan. And then we get to third base. We got Ellie De La Cruz going to make the club. Carter Kieboom will probably be on the big league roster. Henry Trevino will probably be in AA like he is right now. Cam Collier will probably most likely start the season in AAA, but there's a good possibility that he will get moved up to the big leagues in September, or if he's having a really hot start to the season, maybe in May or June, he might get called up. Cutter Coffey will start the year in AA along with Reese Hines, and then Shane Rodriguez can just be a guy because he'll probably be in AA. Shortstop Noel Marte going to make the team. Kyle Farmer obviously making the team. And then Matt McLean will make the team as just like a utility guy because he can play all outfield positions plus basically all the infield. So he's a really good utility guy. Jose Torres, I do like. Edwin Arroyo, I do like. Barrio, I do like. Victor Acosta, I do like. I like all the shortstops in the farm system. They will all be dispersed between AAA and AA, and hopefully they can all develop. And maybe some of them can be used as trade pieces. Joey Gallo will make the team. Aristides Aquino will be in AAA. And, yeah. Just because of... I'm very disappointed in Aristides Aquino because he really has not done much. He really has not done much. So he will be in AAA. Senzel will make the team. Jay Allen has a good possibility of making the team. That is for sure. Because we do need some other outfield spots, especially if Aristides Aquino will go to AAA. So we definitely need some teams. Albert Amaro Jr. will make the team. Michael Siani, I don't know how to pronounce his name. He'll probably start the year in AAA, but like Cam Collier, there's a good possibility that if he has a hot start to the year, could get called up. Tyler Naquin will make the team. Obviously, we made a trade for him, or we didn't make a trade for him. We brought him back in free agency this past offseason after we did trade him at the deadline because he got traded in real life and we were doing all the real life trades. So we traded him. They didn't re-sign him, whatever team we traded him to, I can't remember. And then we brought him back in free agency. So he's back as the starting right fielder along with Austin Hendrick, who took over for him and will probably make the team. Along with Encarnacion. Jerry Encarnacion we got from the Marlins, I'm pretty sure. I do like Encarnacion a lot, and he has to make the team because this dude was our Rule 5 player. So he has to stay on the big league club, so he will make the team as well. And he can play first base and left field. So if we need some Joey Votto relief, we can always play him at first base instead of Josh Bell in this if we need some DH time. TJ Friedel will make the AAA team, and then Gilliam will be in AA. So that's what I'm kind of thinking for how I'm going to figure out the roster. I'll do it all off camera so you guys don't have to sit through me just trying to put guys into where I want to get them and sign free agents and all that stuff. So like I talked about, I re-signed Joey Votto. I re-signed a couple other guys. It wasn't really a big contract extension time right now. There's a couple of guys. I left Tucker Barnhart and Albert Amor Jr. on still needing new contracts because I'm not sure what I want to do with either of them. I guess we'll have to wait and see how they play during the season. Free agency, I will do all this, like I said, off camera. Just go down here to some loser guys down at the very bottom and sign them and put them in because they're only going to play in like AA and AAA, so it's not going to matter too much. So I'll do all that off camera. But that is the spring training. That is the spring training episode. I was going to put this into the video at the beginning of what is now going to be the next episode, which is opening day. But then I decided, I thought I might as well make this a spring training only video because then we can really get into talking about what I'm feeling with this team, what I'm feeling about these prospects, how I'm thinking what I want to do with the roster. So I was like, you know what? We might as well give as much time as possible and talk about these guys. As for top 50 prospects, like I was talking about, L.A. De La Cruz is third in the MLB in terms of top 50 prospects. Then we have Jay Allen. He's ranked 20th right now. Cam Collier is ranked 34th. Matt McLean is ranked 38th. And then that is it. So we have, 4 guys? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 guys in the top 50 prospects. That is very good. That is really, really good. So that's awesome. As you can see by our rankings, we are ranked 25th in the major leagues. We are not very good this coming into the start of this season. It's going to be a little bit of a struggle, but hopefully with our new coaches, we signed our new manager. If I can get to coach contracts here, we signed Joe Madden as our new manager. Everybody's got decent stats. Everybody's got A attributes except for our pitching coach Derek Johnson, but I think we kept him. He was always here. I don't think we changed him, but we got Ricky Chavez. Hopefully Lee Coogan helps us in scouting. That's going to be a big thing with the farm director. And then we've got good first base and third base coaches, hitting coach Ricky Chavez, first base coach. Joe Madden obviously brings some good stuff to the team as well. So hopefully that works out and it all ends up with roses. Now, I don't know what our draft pick is going to be. I think it's going to be top 10. I'm not sure if it's top 5. So we will get a blue chip prospect, and I will do some more scouting off camera to make sure that I got who I think is going to be pretty decent in terms of of blue chip prospects, and we'll go from there in a couple episodes. The draft episode is only a few episodes away if you think about it, so that's pretty cool. Everybody loves a good draft video. So thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching. Next episode will be opening day. I don't know who it's going to be against because I haven't simulated there yet. And I hope you guys enjoyed spring training. I hope you guys learned a little bit about some of these young prospects that we have, like De La Cruz, Matt McClain, Cam Collier, some of the young guys that we have in this organization. And I hope you guys are excited for the future of this Reds team, because I think it's going to take, maybe this season's going to be more of a struggle again like last year, but then season number 3 I think is going to be where we really start to take off and we're really a lot more of a threat. So we only got a little bit more to go before we're actually dominating the major leagues, and I hope you guys are staying for it. If you enjoyed this video, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club if you want to check out any more of my content. I have my main channel and my second channel linked down below in the description, the World of Juice Hoops channel and the World of Juice regular channel, the main channel. That's got Madden content. It's got, the Hoops channel has obviously 2K content. So if you want to check out anything like that, feel free. Or if you just want to stick around here and watch more MLB The Show, feel free. But thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching. I really do appreciate it. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.